Hello, welcome back. In this segment, we're going to talk about regular and effective communication. And in this one, we are going to answer one main question. And that question is, can you explain how you will design and facilitate the interaction of students that is responsive to a variety of cultures and communication styles? Angie, we'll start with you.
And I think I have it's my courses are asynchronous, and I think I have what every instructor has in asynchronous courses, and those are those weekly discussion posts where again I have them submit an initial response by a certain date and follow up by a certain date. But then I also use group projects in my course, and as much as I can, I try to build in places where that group work can happen so that there are a lot of access points for students. So I'll set up discussion forums unique to those groups. I may even set up a shared Google Doc for them to work in for that group so that I've set up the structure and then they can all be a part of it, just to kind of get them a little more comfortable with one another from the outset. There are times in some of my graduate courses where I've had my students actually lead a discussion forum for a week where they do the readings and assign some questions and they monitor the discussion for the week as well. I think what's important to be really sensitive to, though, is the student's comfort level with the different communication media. And whenever I do assign something that's interactive and that's something that's some kind of collaborative assignment, I always ask myself, what is it that I'm trying to assess here? So I think that by nature online, a lot of it tends to be written response. Those discussion posts tend to be written. But if it's not important that I'm assessing students through their writing, sometimes it is. But if in that instance, the written part is not important, I like to give choices. So you can respond to this with a video, or you can respond to this in writing and give them some options so they can choose the media where they feel most comfortable.
Emery, what about you?
Yeah, I completely agree with Angie. And I also think that's just really important that you use a variety of different platforms. We always use Twitter as one of our platforms. And I think that Twitter is really good. And I have some initial resistance to that from students. They'll say, but I work and I don't want anybody at work to see my Twitter account. And then we get into, okay, you make a separate Twitter account for this. You do something else. Because I have a separate one, because as an administrator in the institution, I have to be careful what I say. So I don't want to put my personal stuff in there. And it's a great digital lesson for them to have just in terms of their future professional careers. But I use Twitter, I use VoiceThread, I use Padlet, a number of different things. And in terms of the cultural sensitivity, one of the things I've always done is that introductory icebreaker that I do. And this was really something a student suggested for me many years ago, and we started doing it, which is to have the initial discussion forum. Students have to post an image that reflects their character or their background, but not a selfie, not of them, but an image, because that automatic, first of all, gets students to think about themselves, but then it just breaks the ice completely because students are, why did you choose that? Or why do you have this image? And they get to know each other in a way that they do get to know each other in class, because in class they see the clothes they wear, they see their behavior, their body language. You don't see that online as much. So you have to have other indicators of what the cultural background is and what they like, what they may not like, what intrigues them, what doesn't interest them. And I think that doing that initial icebreaker that way is really helpful because it kind of opens the door to who they are.
Emery, I like that one. I might have to borrow that one because I
Sure,
think
of course.
we use Flipgrid a lot just for that same kind of reasoning, because in Flipgrid you can put a sticker over your face, you can put glasses on,
Mm-hmm.
you can change your background. So I think for a lot of students, they feel more comfortable having those different props and different things. We've also told them, if you want to, you can put a sticker over your face if you don't want your face seen.
Yeah.
We've had instances where students really cannot be seen. We had a couple of just interesting cases where they cannot be photographed in any way, shape, or form. So we used a voice modification through Flipgrid, and there was a sticker. And the young lady that put it together was so excited because that was the first time she was able to do something like this in a very long time. The same thing that we did for when they did group projects, we use Zoom and they have to communicate via Zoom, and they're supposed to record those. And we asked them to turn their cameras on. For her, we did the same thing. You know, have like a stuffed animal or something that's on your, create an avatar and put that up
An
there.
avatar.
And then we changed her name, so there was no, you didn't know it was her. I mean, we knew who it was. It protected her from everyone else. And then also telling students that it's a closed forum, that no one can get in. But again, just for her safety, we're like, we're not going to do that. And we gave her a different name for the course, and it worked really well.